Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for anybody and wherever you guys are viewing this stream. My name is Mike Anderson with Living Motion Monograms and the 1% Solution, and today we're going to be talking about glitter. We're going to be talking about sparkle. We're going to make your designs shine, basically. So this is just kind of a couple different ways of actually doing this effect, and there's a couple different methods. So I'll give you guys some tools that you can use depending on the situation you're in to add some shine, some sparkle, and some there's a few of these techniques that you can add any pattern, basically do anything you want and still keep your text can't say the word editable, something like that. You can still edit the text. How about that? So once again, welcome guys to the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. If you have questions along the way, make sure you guys just chime in the chat and I will get those answered for you. But what do you guys say? We just dive right in and get started. All right. So first thing we're going to do is open up a design, and let's go ahead and bring up one of our templates. This could be any work you're working on. And just to give you an idea first, if for example, you want to go start from scratch, then let's go ahead and open up a little document here. And off to the right side, depending on whether you want to work in pixels or inches, you can go, if you're working in inches, you can go like six on the width and 4 on the height. Or if you're working for, say, designing something for video, then you can go 1920 by 1080. They're about the same anyway, and you can kind of tell that by if I switch over to inches. 6 by 4 by 3.6 is technically the inches for that. But I think one of the important parts here, make sure your resolution is set pretty high. So 300 or 600. 600 is a bit, it's going to make your file pretty big, but the clarity of it's going to be pretty good if you're using it for video. So we're just going to go stick with 300 right now. Ian, awesome. Great to see you in the chat here. Welcome to the live stream. Gino, great to see you here. And David, how you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. So we've got our set. We're going to create just that standard background there. All right. Don't forget, one of the things I always do is kind of set my guide points, and you can do this very easily with Photoshop. If you, for some reason, you don't see a ruler up here at the top, all you got to do, go to view, click on your rulers here, make sure they're active. So we'll reactivate those. And then you can just click on the ruler at the top or on the left side and drag this down. So 1/2 and 1/2 is about 540 by 960 here. And then if we wanted to open up, say, one of our template designs from the tools disk, then we can, I don't remember where the heck I put this. Okay, desktop. What do you say? What do we want to change? Whoops. Let's see. What do we want to change here? Because Photoshop doesn't put images on their files, I have to use my JPEG images just to see what I want to redesign. Ooh, I got an idea. Let's go with 37. Yeah, we'll go with 33 here. It's got some nice white on here. And what do you say? Let's try and get something going on in the. Ooh, I don't want it too loud, but get a little something in the background. A little chill music. What do you say? And let me know if that gets too loud or annoying for you. But that way it's not just dead silence. And okay, perfect. So what did we do? 33? Yeah, it looks good. All right. So there's going to be two different methods. Right now, I'm going to show you guys how to do this in both Photoshop CC and Photoshop Elements. So no matter which one you're using, stick with me. We're gonna go through the process. Right now I'm in Photoshop CC. It's one of the latest versions. So it may look a little different when you guys are doing yours. Just wait a little bit longer or fast forward into we get into the elements, or watch this so you can, because a lot of the same process, a lot of the processes are the exact same for Photoshop Elements. So let's go ahead and our next step here. So should we do the easy way or the hard way first? Let's do the hard way. I like that. And get my little sheet up here. All right. All right, one of the first things we are going to do is let's create, I'm going to, got our text here, our design. I'm going to turn some of these layers off, and we've got our background here. So if, for example, I'm going to show you guys first how to make our sparkle layer. And to do that, we're going to start off by, let's go to our paint bucket here. And your Photoshop may look a little bit different. One of the things that they implemented, you can actually create your own custom or basically custom design as far as the layout of your tools. But something I always kind of point out here, if you're in Photoshop CC, you can actually, up to the top right side, we've got some different, we've got essentials, we've got photography, motion, and if you change that, it actually automatically changes some of the tools that you have access to. So, you know, graphics, web, 3D tends to have a lot more of our tools that we use for this. So we've got, we're going to go ahead and, okay, so we're going to click on our paint bucket off to the left side here. And then at the top, we've got it says foreground in this drop down. We want pattern. And let's go ahead and click our pattern. And what we're going to do is hover over these until, there we are. All right, so there's burlap. And what we're looking for here is web, weave, stucco. If you don't see, what we're looking for here is metal. And so if you don't see it, go ahead and click the gear icon and you'll get to see a big drop down list. And for here, let's go ahead and look for texture fill, web patterns. It might be, I think it is just under standard patterns. There's satin strings, fractures, metal landscape. There's metal snakeskin. Yeah, let's go with metal landscape. I think I've seen it as just metal before as well. And what we're going to do is set our tolerance here at 25 and our opacity at 100%. And just go ahead, let's go ahead and make another layer here. Layer 1. And we'll turn off this layer by the black background by clicking our eye icon off to the bottom right side. Now, once we're on layer 1, we can click this and it's going to add that metal texture to it. So first thing I want you to do with this is we're going to duplicate this layer, and you can do that just by right clicking, duplicate layer, hit OK. And with that top layer, or layer 1 copy here, let's go ahead and name these. We'll do glitter 1, glitter 2. All right, now with our top glitter layer, we're going to change the blending mode. And the way we do that is just above our layers here. It says normal. Let's go ahead and change that to darken. It's not going to do much right now, but wait a second, because we're going to do some more stuff and it's going to actually help. Next thing we're going to do is go to, on our glitter 2 layer, we're going to go to filter. And let's give it a filter here. Find distort. And spherize, shear pinch, displace. I think we're going to go with, let's see, distort, and where's my liquify? I think we've got our, I was just doing this in elements, and I don't think it, we're just going with distort, and let's try displace, because liquify is not in here. That's not what I wanted. All right. So we're on glitter 2. We're going to go to filter. Let's try our distort. Oh, there we are. We're up here. We got it up here. So liquify. And off to the left side of liquify here, we've got some different brush options. So we've got things like twirl, pucker tool, our bloat, push, freeze mask. So like if we just kind of select one, and if we touch this, you can actually click and drag. And all we're doing is we want to create those imperfections. We can go ahead and let's increase the size here. Ooh, not that much. We can increase the size to about, 250. Give it a little bit more. You don't want to do a whole lot, but we want it to be different than the other one. And you can randomize this just by going around and clicking, maybe selecting another tool here. Bring this back up to, there we are. And just a slight click and slight pull is going to rotate those. Because what we're going to do is we're going to combine these two layers to create our subtle differences. It's going to create our glitter, or at least our texture. You can see what some of the other ones do, and you can't. I promise you can't really do something wrong on this. I mean, you don't want to smear it too much, but just changing this top layer as much as possible here. All right, and then from there, let's try a couple more here. You can push it up into the corners. How is your morning going, guys? Seems like yesterday we were just streaming, and we were. A lot of you guys were here last night. Oh, Donnie did show up. Good, Donnie. Oh, Donnie, you just wait, buddy. I told Donnie we're gonna bedazzle his logo today, and he's got a nice logo, but I think we could. I think we can improve it. I really do. I really do. But as he says it with a snicker. All right. So then we're gonna just go ahead and hit OK. We got our suit. Now you can see that we've got just the difference. When we did the darken, basically this is all the area that we changed. And if we wanted to go back and change it again, we can always, I see some areas up here that, and on the right side that I might want to do again. We can go back to filter, liquify on that layer. Go ahead and select our tool. We raise this to 500. Give it a good once over here. All right, hit OK. Here we are, a lot more random. Okay, and Now from here, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and merge these two layers. You can go ahead and select both of these and by just clicking one, and if you hold down Shift or Control, click on the other one. Very similar to using Excel spreadsheet and stuff. If they're right on top of each other, then you can just go ahead and hit Shift, but both will work. And then right click, and let's go ahead and merge these layers. So now we've got one layer here. Now, next one, we're gonna go ahead and we've got our, usually I would tell you guys like if we want to make another layer and do a black layer, but we've already got a black layer. We're gonna bring this one, we'll turn that off. So we've got our black layer. You want to bring that black layer all the way down here to the bottom. And next, let's go ahead and hide. We've got our texture layer hidden, and we're going to add our text. So we have our text. We've got our glitter layer here. What I'm going to do is first, if we're working with our templates, we've got our names. And what we can do is you can make the changes to the names, whatever you want. We'll go ahead and put in, let's say 23rd. Let's mark this live stream here. All right, now what we want to here is basically anything that we want to change, whether it's everything or just parts of it. Then at that point, I'm going to show you guys where to put our layer, but let's go back to that texture that we just made. We're going to activate this, and we're going to grab it, just drag that layer up to our template, and just drop it in here for now. We'll go up to our move tool here, and by hitting Control T, it'll bring up our transform tool. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to, with Photoshop CC, you're going to hold down Shift to maintain that aspect ratio. But with this, it really doesn't matter. So you can just grab an edge, bring it to this outside, grab this edge, bring it to the outside, hit Enter. Okay. So we've got our, we know we've got, if we turn this layer off, we've got our text, we've got our black background. And right now, this glitter layer is over all of these. One of the things what we can do is, here's how ridiculously easy it is to add any texture you want to a design. If you go to that layer, you want to make sure it's on top. So what I'll do is I'll take this layer and I'll put it inside my folder here so that it's with my date, names, and that way we can see a difference here. Now, at this point, that's on top of everything. We can't see the letters. We can't see the names. If we right click on this, that layer, or what do we name it? Glitter 2. We right click on it and we are going to select create clipping mask. And then what's going to happen here is, let's see. So it added our, if we look down here at the date, it added it to the date. So we've got our clipping mask on our date. I'm gonna move that though. We're going to do it on something a little larger right now. And if you move it, it's gonna take away that clipping mask, so we can right click and hit create clipping mask again. And now we can see that texture on our name. And the cool thing is you can do this with almost anything. So if we wanted to go online, I've got some artwork that I downloaded from a paid service that I use for artwork. And let's go ahead and go to our desktop. So if we have like a texture that we really like, it's like this glitter purple, we could always open this up. That's pretty small. Open. This is one of my high. And a lot of the stuff I get from like Billion Photos, or where you can pay to for great HD artwork. And then I'll drag and drop this in here. And so I drag that layer into this file. Again, just Control T. I'm going to hit Control and our minus sign to back out just a little bit so I can see the edges. But we can do the exact same thing with this. We're going to fill our area and put it just above. I'm going to turn off. First hit Enter and make that the correct size. And then let's go ahead and just, I'm going to move this to get out of the way, turn this off. And I'm going to put my layer, our glitter layer above the text or the image that we want to mask, and then right click and hit our create clipping mask. Now, as we zoom in, we've got our sparkles here. And from here, you can also make those adjustments where you can go layer, and let's go into image. Let's go into image and adjustments. You can go hue and saturation. And this is just kind of some, if you want to change the tone color of those sparkles. There's a lot of little tricks that you could do. If you want it a little bit brighter, we can bump up the brightness, but it's going to start to wash things out. But you can then kind of resaturate it by increasing our saturation point. But I feel that unless you get the exact color you want, you're going to end up being happier with creating kind of a texture pattern that you really like. So let's go, and I'm going to just drag this to the bottom for now. We might use that later, but we've got our glitter pattern here. And what we're going to do here, once we get, let me turn the glitter pattern off. Once we get our design exactly how we want it, then that's at that point, that's where you want to, let's see, you can combine everything. So we've got if we wanted to combine, say, our names and our design together into one, the first thing I'm going to do, just as backup, I'm going to duplicate these. So because we're going to use them for something a little bit later. Duplicate group, and we're going to go text copy. That's okay. And we're going to go into design and duplicate group, duplicate copy. Okay, perfect. Now let's get our copies together here, and we can turn those. Oh, I just put it in there, didn't I? Where's my other copy? There it is. All right, and we can turn those two layers off. If we want, we'll just drag them to the bottom, get them out of the way. So we've got our text, we've got our design. And at this point, we can right click and we're going to merge these layers. And this is going to be one layer all by itself. So now I cannot edit this text at this point. So you want to make sure you have your final product. And with oh, hold on, I got to go back. I almost messed up there. So keep in mind our glitter layer was inside that, and we want to keep that outside of our box. Don't combine your layers together and get rid of your glitter texture. And if you do, you can always go back and grab it from your other file. So it's nice. It'd be nice to save those. And merge layers so that we've got our monogram design. Perfect. All right. And now if we activate our layer, we've got our texture here. And to me, this is it's kind of looking a little bit more like snake skin almost. So we can always, let's try this. Let's duplicate this layer. And with our top layer, we did darken last time. Let's go to, let's go with darken again. And then we're going to go to filter. We went to Liquify. We got about 500 here, so all right, let's back up. Where did all the swirls go? Oh, I haven't. Okay. Density. Let's try. I'm going to redo this. Cancel. We're going to go to our Liquify filter. So what other effects do you guys want to see? Or what do you want to be able to do with text or with images with your monogram? I'm always curious. I'm always kind of on the lookout. Usually these ideas kind of come from the just from doing the monograms myself for clients, and they get some kind of a special request. Once I learn how to do it, I get to share it with you guys. Yeah, and if you, for example, if you don't like the way it looks, then you can always just delete that layer. All right, so we've got that. Next step, let's go ahead. Again, we've got our glitter and our monogram design. A lot of times what I like to do is highlight both of these and hit Control G. That's going to group those two together. And then this we can monogram design. And that just keeps them together, lets me know that they're here. I can go ahead and click on our glitter layer and go back to that create clipping mask. So now it covers our entire design here. All right. And for this, I'm going to also, our next step, I want you to right click on our monogram design. Let's go ahead and duplicate this layer. And this is going to be copy. We're going to drag that above our glitter layer, just so we have it. Let's go ahead and turn that layer off for now. Come back to our glitter layer and hit create clipping mask. Because anytime you make changes, it might deselect that clipping mask for it. Now at this point, if you want, which we're going to do some other things with this clipping mask, so you don't merge these two layers just quite yet. All right. Next, what we're going to do is go to we've got our glitter layer here. Let's go and make another, we're going to make an adjustment layer. So let's go to layer, new, and where is, I can't be, it's adjustment. Yeah. I'm bouncing back and forth between the two, so I'm trying to remember exactly where everything is for you guys. New adjustment layer, there we are. And we're going to go with, go ahead and hit layer, new adjustment layer, and let's go with hue and saturation. So we want to add color to this. You also want to click this box, use previous layer to create clipping mask. Hit OK. And from there, this pops up. So we've got our colors here. So if we want to select a specific color for this, then we can go ahead and I'm going to set our saturation at about 62. And click our colorize icon down here. Now, as we go through, we can select that texture, that tone. The color you want here. I'm going to do something vibrant. And saturation drop down, that's why. Like, it looks pretty dull. There we are. And play with these levels again, because the more you saturate it, the more vibrant it's going to be, and it changes with our depending on the artwork you're working on. You can lighten it up. As you lighten it up, you're going to lose that texture. You're also going to lose the kind of the texture we just created. All right, now, so we've got that set. Our next step is that we're going to go ahead and create an outline. So this looks nice, but we want it to stand out a lot more. And that's the reason I wanted you guys to create a second layer here. So on this monogram design copy, let's go and activate that. It's all white. And we're going to go into our filter. I'm sorry. We're going to go into our layer here. Layer style. And let's add our stroke. And we're going to select our color. We're just going to do white. White for now. What color is that? Oh, yeah, we can just do white for now. So we're going to add our stroke, and let's go ahead and do our stroke size at about 8 here. And I'm going to turn off just let me. Yes, okay. So our text is white and our stroke is also white right now, which it doesn't matter what color you make the stroke. If you wanted to see it better, well, the important part is that we select, so we got 8 pixels here. We're going to put that position on the outside, and with this one, there's a lot of fine detail. I wonder if I'm going to change the color here so we can see it. So we do it to red. Let's center it. Now let's see what looks the best here. We're going to go on the outside. All right. And you can keep it red if you want. It doesn't matter. Because one of the things we're going to do is take that layer, and right above it, we've got fill. Let's go ahead and turn that fill all the way down. And what happens is we're going to still see our stroke, but there's going to be nothing. Like if we turn these back on, then we've got our design here, and then we've got our stroke outline there as well. So if we want to make some adjustments to the stroke, and it may have been a mistake to use a design that's got these fine little details in it, but we will find out here soon enough. Because it is going to cover up. Our minute little details there. Hit OK. And with this layer, what I want to do is I'm just going to right click on it, and we're going to go ahead and rasterize this layer style. There. Now that it's basically just our layer style, then what I can do is, and it doesn't acknowledge that there's anything on the inside, because now we've just made an outline. You can see fill is back to 100%, and we can still see through it. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add the actual effect that we want on here. And that's going to be, let's go over here to the layer. You can also access in, at least in Photoshop CC, double clicking on the right side of the layer, it'll bring up our layer styles. And we're going to go with gradient overlay. And this is where we can select what we want it to do. So if we want a nice gradient pattern here that's like more of a silver or something, what I want to do is create kind of more of a white glow. All right, so we've got our chrome pattern here. And then playing with our styles, reflective. A lot of times with reflective is what I end up using, but you can adjust here with our angle, how it looks, and that's just going to kind of rotate that. And we're going to go ahead and get our opacity at 100%. And let's see what our blend modes do as well. Because we know red is what the original pattern is. And if you do make that white, you're going to have a lot better time probably with this. You'll have a few more options, but I wanted to show you what is visible and what's not in these different styles. So I just wanted to kind of add a little pinstriping around the outside and add a little shine to that. But you can see that up here, you know, I may not want to use this style or separate these at least for something with such fine detail here. This works best with, say, the names. And when the text and stuff is different size, you're going to have a lot more hard time with that. So we've created kind of our outline. Or if we wanted to replace that, we could always come back in here and select a different color. Just kind of mess things up a little bit. So we'll cancel that out. We've got this. I also want to show you guys from this point, we can go ahead and bring up, we're going to, we've got our black background already in here. Our monogram design. And in our monogram design here, let's go ahead and add another layer. I'll show you guys how to add a little twinkle here. And we're going to add these as stars. So off to your left side, we got our color palette. Let's make sure this front one is white and the back one itself is black by clicking on them. And then we're going to go to our brush. And let's look at our brush heads here. And what we want to do is look for our stars. If you don't see them, you can, again, click on that gear icon. And under our basic brushes, should be in here. Let's see, where are these? These are, I've already got these added in here. See what our special effects brushes have in here. So yeah, they're going to be under the special effects brushes here. And you'll see that as we kind of click over these and hover over them, it just basically is going to say star 42 pixels. And you can just select like star 55. And if you hit your caps lock key, it's not going to show us really what it's going to do, but basically by trial and error, if we wanted to add a little sparkle, we know that's way too small. Let's bring this up. We got our flow at 100 and our opacity at 100. And let's go back. Control Z, take that out of there. What the 70 does. All right, there we go. So we got to bump this way up. We're going to go to, let's see what's going to look right with this size image. Yeah, we're going to, at least with these monograms, probably about 350 is going to be where we end up working the best. And you can just basically kind of go to the edges of these. You want to add a little star flare in here in a couple spots. This is how we get that little glimmer. And of course our dot in our eyes. So you can go as much or as little as you want, but the cool thing is that because we do it on a different layer, if we wanted to take them out completely, you can just turn that layer off. Or if you mess up and you want to take something out, then you can just go to your erase. And as long as you're just on that layer, then you don't take a risk of erasing part of your artwork here. You can take that little area out. All right, so we've got that set. So we've got some different little lens flares here, and I want to show you guys another trick. We're going to go down here and duplicate our background black. And let's call this flare. Now with that layer selected, let's go into our filter, and we want our blur and, oh wait, no, where's our flares? Lens correction, Liquify. There we are. So it's under render and lens flare. So now here we've got we've got 50 to 300 zoom already selected. We can create our brightness here. And by clicking on our little arrow, we can go ahead and, if we wanted to create a little lens flare in the background for our image, you can see here it just kind of puts it in the background. But we want to adjust that again. Filter. Oh, I just added it. Let's step back then. I want to adjust that. Come on. And let's try it again. Let's go and duplicate that layer. And you're killing me. You're killing me. Oh, come on. You're not letting me, Photoshop is killing me. All right. So why isn't my show my controls? Why are you not letting me make those adjustments? That's, maybe we have to, we're going to, got our layer here. Let's go, instead of doing the cheat way, we're going to go in and render lens flare. There we are. Now it's back. Because I just have it too bright, I think. I want it about 86 here. There. And so you can create kind of a lens flare, and if you wanted this to match, we can always go in and go into layer, and let's do layers. The what is it? New. Just had it back. Layer mask. All right, layer. So what we want to do is kind of similar to what we did with our background images. We're going to go click layer, adjustment layer. And let's go with our hue and saturation. Use previous layer to create clipping mask. Hit OK. We want to click our box that's colorize. And here we can actually just change that to either match what we're doing or maybe just a different color altogether to make it a little bit more vibrant. So we can change the color of that lens flare. So here we've got this design. And again, if we wanted to, let's go ahead. We still have our other, texture, and we can work on this and make this a lot more fine if we wanted to, and create almost any, style that we want. If the client has something like, "Ooh, we really like this print," then we can also do that as well, very easily by using that clipping mask. So if we did something a little bit more. Do something that doesn't have the little fine lines. The rough lines like the other one did. 49. We can turn off our background. We might want to take all of this and just kind of combine this all together. I'm just going to merge these layers. And then whatever effect we want, remember we can duplicate. This is our monogram design, so we'll duplicate this layer. Let's save one up here as backup and turn that off for now. We've got our lines. We're going to go and open, find out what we want to put in front of it. Maybe we want a little gold texture. So we get that texture popping out. This is a big file, so we're going to be able to probably shrink this down quite a bit. But still may be too chunky. Put it right on top. This ought to look interesting, to say the least. We're going to create that clipping mask. But it gives us a little bit of texture. We don't see, because these are fine lines, we don't see nearly as much of the other stuff. Now remember, we've got this other layer, so we can always activate this. Let's go ahead and add our stroke to it. And this time, we're going to go with let's go with the black outline, and I'll bump this up. I want to make sure we got position outside, blending normal, and opacity 100%. And hit OK. Now let's go ahead and we're going to take the fill out, take that to 0. See how this looks here. So we can see through that except for our outline, but we want to go back into stroke. Let me increase this. So what are we seeing in here? Ah, I see. Okay, so we've got a little bit of this drop shadowing kind of messed it up a little bit, but let's center this up. And it is best to do this, take all the other effects off, bevel, emboss, shadowing, all that stuff if you want really fine lines. And so that's just kind of the quick way of doing it. And you can select, if you want to pull, you know, certain elements out, you can select certain elements to do that with. And really that's going to be how you do it with Photoshop here, CC, but elements, it's a little different, but not much. So let's go, I'm going to, and we'll close all this out. See if we can lag everything out here. And for this one, we're gonna let's bring up Donnie's. All right, Donnie, what do you want to do? What do you guys want to do with Donnie's logo? I'm gonna go open. No, I don't want it to update. So here we've got his logo here. We're going to create a new blank file. Let's make sure our 1920 by 1080. Any ideas? How crazy do you guys want to get with this? You want to bedazzle it? Do you want to give it something a little different? So Donnie's got an Easter egg in this. It says find the mustache in his design. Like, oh, come on. Wait. You don't have a, did you ever have a mustache, Donnie? I don't remember ever seeing you with a mustache. All right. Oh. So we got our untitled one here. Let's we're gonna unlock that by clicking the lock icon. Oh, give me some black. And paint bucket. Let's turn that black there. We'll go back to Donnie's logo here, and we're just gonna drag it over for now. Let's grab our move tool. Grab that layer. Bring it over, drag it on top of this one. All right. Whoops. See, it's just the opposite. In Photoshop Elements, you just grab the corner. It maintains the aspect ratio. There's a couple things I think we're going to do. First off, we got a logo here. Let's go ahead and separate some stuff. And what I mean by that is we're going to kind of do this the easy way. If we're ever trying to just grab something in the middle, hey, we got a circle. I'm going to put some guidelines up here. And these aren't even going to be necessary. So let's go to our lasso. Where is, oh. All right, so we click on our lasso. Let's go down here to the bottom, and we're going to click on polygonal lasso. That way we can put our little dots. And I want to separate this. Cut that out. And by the way, sometimes it's a really good idea. It's probably easier to just do it this way, but before we no, edit, undo. Well, it's not letting me. So when you first, if you're going to be working with something, a design like this, one of the things that I do that kind of saves me a lot of time later is when I bring the design in, then I'm going to put it the size I want. Didn't come over. Bring that file in. I'll make it the size I want, and then I'll just duplicate the layer. That way, if I am going to separate these elements, because most of the time we're working with like logos or something that are just like, it's just it's one file. If the company doesn't have the master, then you're gonna have to be creative with it. Now at this point we can, I might on our layer copy, I might turn the opacity down to like, I don't know, 40%. It's just a reference for me. And then I got our main logo layer. And that's the one I'm going to start cutting out. So I've got basically my cheat sheet in the background. So when I cut this and I paste this, I can always go to my move tool. And let's get it right back where it was before. That way we know it's gonna look normal. So, and you can always label these as you go. So that we got event, we got matters. We're gonna go ahead and let's zoom in. We got our jewel up here. We might be able to use our magic wand brush. Let's see how this does. Oh, I got to be on the logo. And then we just have to adjust our tolerance. $65. There we go. Let's got that close enough. And paste. We got our copy there. So, all right, so we can turn off our copy at the top and start to figure out what we want to do with this. So we've got, what do we got in store here? We've got, let's see what, yeah, let's see what this is. Oh, that's a little Facebook icon. That does me no good. Where? Well, we got a real diamond here. Luckily, this is a PNG, so we've got a lot more flexibility with it. And if I want, I can take our original artwork. Let's get this right about the right size. Just a little bit bigger. And then we take our original artwork. And if we hit our selection tool here. And Select it. Maybe we want to edit this other one a little bit. We got our original diamond. We'll go to our magic wand. Oh, I gotta get rid of this. Magic wand, original diamond layer. Bam. And then I'm going to go up here to select and inverse. And then I'm going to click on our new diamond layer and hit delete. Now, when we take away our old diamond, we blinged it out. Now we got a new diamond in there. Now at this point, you might want to do some stuff. We can go to our layer here and go to our styles. We'll drop. No, drop shadow is going to look horrible on this because we're so close to this other one. So let's go and edit, undo. Next, let's go ahead and find our texture that we want to do. Open. And we're changing the color here. All right. So we can close this out. Let's grab this background. Drop it in here. Remember, we're going to resize this. Let's make it just, all you have to worry about is just covering our area. Let's make sure that this layer itself is going to be right above what we want it to cover. So I'm going to bring it right above logo. I'm going to right click, create clipping mask. And with our logo, let's go ahead. One thing I wanted to do is, and I forgot, let's duplicate this layer. It's probably going to get rid of our clipping mask. That's okay. We're going to drag that layer copy above our glitter background here. And then once again, right click on our glitter background and create clipping mask. And it still looks normal because we can still see this one. So with our logo copy, we're going to go to styles. We're going to select our stroke. Doesn't matter which one you select right now, just you can click on one. Go back to our layers because it's going to add our little effects here. What I want to do is we're going to go up here to opacity with that top logo copy active. Let's go to 0 for opacity. And I want to change the color of this. We're going to go to what white does, and we've got our outside. Stroke. That. Where is this? Might be the one little hiccup that it has here compared to the two versions. Now I just did this. So we should be able to do just fine. 10 on the outside. But with our opacity at 0. Bring this down in size. Just want an outline. All right. So there's a little extra step we're gonna have to do here. So instead of adding the stroke now, let's go ahead and take that layer, let's rasterize it. Simplify our layer. We're going to turn that opacity down to 0. Let's see if we can. Then style or stroke. Bring this up to white. That way we can see it here. I imagine Donnie's going to show up to the next DJ conference with just a gold chain with his logo on it. Balling out. Where is my... That's the problem. I've got opacity up here, and I don't have fill. Where, oh where? More. Maybe it is here. Auto select layer. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe someone in the chat can always help us out here. Which is sad because I just did this. And had no issues. I had the fill there. But I ended up doing something. New layer. Oh. Use default mask. Is that what I changed? Outside. That ain't it. Type, simplify layer mask. You got me trying to add a stupid outline to it. Well, I guess we can always just do it the real easy way. We've got our, that's our clipping mask, but we can see what happens here. Layer style. And the outside. And then we can drop it down. And if we go with kind of a silver, you know, just a bright, just slightly dull here. We can do a hairline. When we have text that's really close together at the bottom here, you can see that we're gonna start messing with that, and because it is very, very close together. And in that case, black, or yeah, just depend on the design that we're end up using. Some things are best left alone on a very, very tiny small text like this, but for now we're going to go with just our hairline here. And we got our event in the middle. So I think we've got another one that we can end up using here. So I'm going to really spaz it out here. And any of these clipping masks, the truth is you just need to have it in a position that is just as big as what you want it to cover. So if it's not really high res like that one, then create clipping mask. Style. Bam. Let's go into our effects. Change this. Yeah, it was worth a shot. I was going to see if it worked on this stuff worked on our clipping mask too. It might work on it if we go inside. We can see it, but it's gonna, yeah, it's just not gonna work the way we intend it to. So let's try actually on the word, or we can duplicate this like we did before. Boom. We'll drag that down and go into create clipping mask. Here's our top layer. Yeah, we're gonna run into a same stupid situation we had before. So that won't work either. Let's go with the way we did before. All right, so our event. Go into our styles. Got our outline here, and back to layers, because that's just gonna add our effect, and we can make those adjustments. White on the outside. Drop this down. Create a little outline for it. See, I wasn't too harsh on you, Donnie. I think I found some zebra print that I was going to use originally. It should be a... Oh, look. There it is. It's funny because I can turn this layer off. You can kind of start to see the zebra print in there. Oh, there it is. This is where it all went south, boys. This is where it all went south. Your event matters. For a jungle theme. Yeah, a lot more of a fan of the sparkle. And we do this other stuff the exact same way. So we've got our brush, and if we wanted to go to our brush, make sure our colors are white, black, and then what we can do is go into and select our different brushes. So just scrolling down with the stock ones, you'll probably find like the stars here. 5, and then increase this. We're on the clipping mask, so layer, new layer, stars. One above. Thank you. And we can already tell that is going to be way too much. Let me erase all that. So in our started layers, we've got this brush. Let's go down to about 26. See what this looks like. Oh, it switched on me. Darn it. Where is... I think tomorrow we're going to be exploring some of the different tools that are inside Grand VJ, and showing some of the different ways you can use transitions and stuff. Try 77. Kind of the key to this is hold it in one spot. Don't let your mouse move. Gives you a finer, just a little bit finer lines. Of course, the diamond's got to shine. And it's okay to go. Excuse me. It's I one of the things I always do is go in and, you know, do different sizes, see what looks the best. Especially for static images, if you want it to kind of appear that we've got some light coming into it. Awesome. Okay. Well, Donnie, we've I can't say I can't say, nor will I ever say, that this looks better than your original artwork. But I can say it will definitely attract more attention. So that is definitely for sure. This, I don't want to know. I'm not even going to repeat that on stream because I have no idea what that means, Donnie. Something about his bed sheets. Okay. So yeah, Donnie says he got an updated one that's removed photo booth and replaced it with cinematography, which became a major part of the company. Oh, cool, man. Congrats. And let's see. So yeah, anytime you need, you know, artwork done. I mean, the cool thing is that with like, say, the diamond, we can create like kind of a mask and stuff, and you can actually we could always add that in If we find like, you know, a video diamond for like a bridal show, you can use your logo, and then, you know, I can pretty easily add in the diamond spinning or something in the background. So it looks like the same thing, except it's spinning on the ring. Just something that's subtle enough to just grab their attention. Or if we wanted to, you know, diamond is definitely a theme in this. Where do we put that top one? So there's our stars. And even diamond. There's the old one. There's our new one. So if one of the things we could always duplicate this. We got our diamond copy. And if we want to add that kind of style to it, we could, well, I guess first we need to move this. And that's a cool, the fun part of this is that you just be creative. I mean, you find a texture that you really like. It may not be the right thing, but that maybe the texture in it that you want to end up using. And that clipping mask can do a heck of a lot. So we can duplicate these. And slightly move it. Oh, come on. It's going to grab my background layer. Just layer. I mean, we can always layer these, create more of a kind of a prism effect with it. You don't make words look like diamonds. Have some fun with it. Be creative. But now that you know how to use the clipping effect, you can transform your text into pretty much anything you want. So you get a special request from clients and they want something that looks, some of these take a little bit longer than others to make, you know, look the absolute best. And it takes some time just with some fine adjustments. One thing I've learned over the years is that there are some things that look really good and some things that the idea's there, but you're going to have to finesse it. You're going to have to fine tune it a little bit and make it work out. So I definitely appreciate all of you guys being here today. If you do have any questions, take some time, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will get to those as well. Like I said, we're going to be streaming tomorrow as well. I believe probably for those of you watching right now, and looks like I'm trying to hit a few different times on days just to see what people are able to make. We got definitely some good friends who are have some time slots in the evening that I purposely kind of leave open because I want to help you guys out, but I also don't want to step on not necessarily stepping on toes. But yeah, we're probably going to be on in the afternoon and the morning tomorrow, and I'm going to post what we're going to be doing. But we're going to go into either I'll note just a little bit later today. We're going to be probably going into Grand VJ and looking at some of the different features on transitions and stuff that we can use in that program. So if you want to learn about Grand VJ, we're going to be definitely doing that as well. But I appreciate you guys coming out. If this content helped you guys out, make sure you guys take a moment and hit that like button. Let me know. And that way we can continue with more content like this. And if you haven't already, help us out, man. We're going for our goal of 1,000 subscribers on the channel, and you guys are killing it. You're smashing it, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. We keep building up. We're up, another 10 subscribers from just last night's stream. So 597. And when you do it and you're on stream, like if you hit it now, you're gonna see your name pop up right above me, right over here. and everybody knows that you support the channel. So definitely appreciate all of you guys being here. And if, like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Hit us up on our Facebook groups, Living Motion Monograms and the 1% Solution. All the tech stuff, monogram stuff, design stuff, that's over on Living Motion Monograms. But if you want to be a better, improve your performance at your events, that's where you want to definitely ask your questions over at our 1% Solution group. And or you can ask your questions down in the comment section. I'll get to those as well, so everybody can see them. Appreciate you guys being here. You guys have a great afternoon, and we will see you soon. Thanks for stopping by.